welcome to all those new people that are showing up, and welcome to my regulars. Thank you for being here, supporting me. Love you, much loving, so much. So let's get real here for a moment, okay? I want to talk about the electoral sexual connection that happens between two people. Okay, this is the electricity that brings you together. We know that this is energy. We know that the sexual dimension is an energetic dimension. And what is actually driving us towards the desire to explore, to be part of it, to want it, to need it, to crave it, to desire it over and over again, to desire the exploration of it, is the electricity that it brings in our body. We're going to talk about how to maintain that electrical charge. What are some things that you can do to maintain it, and why it is so important that you bring some conscious energy to this. Otherwise, you just lose the beautiful charge that can be created in your sexual relationship. So we have this beautiful electricity that moves between us in partnerships, right? And sometimes it's dimmer when you're just needing some separation from each other, and sometimes it's really charged and really exciting, and you seem to fall into a place where you get lost in each other, and maybe you disappear into other realms that are way beyond this three-dimensional realm. But in order to get there, and if you haven't been there for a long time, because we lose that connection to that place when we're not allowing for change, when we're not allowing for our new desires to come up, okay? We are ever-changing human forms, and therefore the desires that we have change. The desires meaning the kinds of things that we want to do, the kind of things that make us feel good or that turn us on, the kind of things that we want to explore and test out, and the kind of things that we're curious about. These change. And if we don't allow for us to tap into that, to feel it, because you have to tap into it first. You have to feel it. Like, what's going on here? We haven't had sex for a long time. It's really at a low. I'm not feeling desire at all. I'm not feeling any sexual desire for my partner. So what's going on? What am I really feeling here? And you have to consciously tap into what's going on with me here. Why am I feeling like in a low area of sexual desire? It's very often this case that maybe one, you haven't connected to the new desire that you have. You're definitely sick of what you've been doing, or you're bored of it, or it's just not turning you on anymore. That's okay. That's what happens. We get bored of doing the same thing over and over again sexually. We need to change it up, and especially it is found for women. Women need change up. The pussy does not like boring, mediocre activity. She requires constant nurturing, excitement. She's curious, and she plays much better in a scenario where things are not known, where it's more a moment to moment kind of action, a moment to moment kind of discovery. So sex is like that. When you're able to pull back from it, okay, this is a sexless situation that I'm in, or this is a situation where I don't have the desire in me anymore. When you're able to pull back from that and then tap into what is really going on here. What am I really feeling? What do I really want to happen in my sexual? What does my sexual being want? What is my sexual being desiring right now? Because it will change. It changes many times over your lifetime. Sometimes it's very active and very hot and very passionate, and sometimes it's very quiet and just subdued and sitting back and waiting for that next fire to be lit. So I would suggest, don't be hard on yourself. Like, when you're in a place with your partner, when you're feeling the energy is really low and there's no sexual connection, number one, don't blame your partner for this situation. That's the first thing most people do, is they blame their partner. You know, your fault. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? Why don't you want to connect with me? Step back from that, because you are a part of this dance, 50% part of this dance. And yes, they're involved, but your energy is going to affect you more than anything else. So pull back from it, accept that it's in a place of low desire, low understanding of what the desire is, low activity, and say, okay, I'm in a place where I am I'm a rediscovery stage. And if I'm pushing and forcing and complaining and battering at this low desire, this desire time, it doesn't allow for room for me to discover what actually is going on, or what actually is, what actually I need, what actual desire is in there that needs to come out, that wants to come out. So we need to pull back from it. We need to accept that this is a situation right now, and that it will change once we pull back. Once we pull back. Once we go down. It's this good time to do the meditation, whatever it is for you that requires you to get into a meditative state. I think breathing is really important. Deep, lower abdominal breathing. And okay, I'm going to allow for the new desire to rise without judgment on what's going on right now. And when you can put yourself into that place, you allow for the circuits to reconnect, because the circuits have literally been disconnected. The circuits reconnect in your sexual energy. And you will then start to feel that spark of, oh, like my partner's looking kind of different. There's something that they're doing that I really like. And, oh, I would really like to do this with them. Or that, wow, that really turns me on. Like, be conscious of the feelings that you have. Oh, like, I'm feeling this in my body right now because that happened. You know, you now open up space within your sexual electrical field, let's say, for connections to happen. And you start to feel these, like, kind of like these wires connecting. And you want to tap into that. You want to allow for it and be conscious of it. Okay, and then when you feel these things, you can also follow the threads of those. Follow the threads of those feelings. Ooh, that feels good. Let me see. I would really like to go over and get on my knees and look up at my partner and just tell him how much I love his penis, you know, love his cock. You know, if you feel like doing that, then do it. Just go do it. Let yourself be free. Let yourself tap into your wildness. If you're feeling like, wow, I would really like to like throw her on the bed and ravish her, or lick her body, lick her all over, then go into it. You know, you don't want to attack somebody, but you can go into it and say, ask, I would really like to lick your entire body. I am very turned on by this right now. And see what she says. If she's like, oh no, I don't think so, then okay, like, try to find another path. Okay, this is a challenge. I've got a challenge here. If you are wanting to go and bend on your knees to your partner and kiss their cock, this is also the challenge for you. When is the right time? How do you move into their energy so that you can then, you know, we connect our electoral wires connect in our body. And then we have to extend these wires to connect to our partner. You have to send these messages, the electrical messages, to your partner. And you do that through discovering your own desire first. Because when the desire is there, then you can feel it, and you can let it boil in and boil around and boil eventually up. And then send the feelers out to your partner. And they will feel it. They will feel it. They might not be exactly ready, but you start to put them out a little bit at a time. Or maybe it comes in a big wave. And especially if you're the feminine, you know, the masculine is if your partner is able to have just been relaxed in this scenario of low sexual happenings, And he is waiting for the moment, the time, because ultimately the masculine energy is the empty, open space, like the battery waiting to be recharged, right? And so if he's in that space, then you can start to attach the wires, or you can bring them in and see what happens in a full force kind of way. And if he's not quite there, it's okay. Just like, okay, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. You know, so I like to think of it as the electrosexual connection, the sexual connection that is very intensely joined and connected and bright. The light is bright, is radiant, it can be nuclear, let's say. And at times these wires become disconnected, and it's just in this dormant stage, which is also something that needs to be accepted in one's life, because these changes are natural. These changes are natural physiological things that happen to our bodies. So, thank you very much for listening in. It's a topic I'm going to talk more and more about, because I've talked about this many times. I have other videos talking about desire and connection and sexual exploration. And this is why exploration is super important, because it helps you then discover what these desires are. Sometimes we just don't know where to look outside the walls that have been created around our sexual lives. So if you can start to discover a little bit about what's going on, what kind of things might turn me on, where can I push at these walls a little bit, you might find you will find all sorts of things that you have never discovered before. Please subscribe to my video. I'm here every Thursday giving a talk, giving a knowledge report about something. Thank you so much for coming in. Subscribe to my videos again, and I subscribe to my newsletter. I do have various events and programs that I offer throughout the year, and I would love to have you part of this tribe of sexually exploring and growing in our sexual beings. Okay, much love making.